All right, I have another wonderment. Wonderment! I think we should go visit out on this rock right there. Can you see it? It's our next adventure. I think we're about to go find some beautiful light.
Once upon a time, on a beautiful, sunny September day, along the ruggedly beautiful Central Oregon coast, an unforgettable afternoon was created. The sky was blue, the hillside green, and the winds were calm. With their finding wonder compass in hand, 4 adventurers had come to visit and appreciate a wonderment of grand design. As they trekked up the path to pay tribute to the enchanting Castle of Light, they walked through a magical land of beauty.
They passed the original 1894 lighthouse keeper's home that still graces the park today. They felt like most fortunate travelers from the 21st century to appreciate the historical lightkeeper's home.
After appreciating the wonders of the grounds, they finally arrived at the base of the great bright wonder of light in which their compass had led them. The presence of historical significance could be felt with every breath, and the stories of this great lighthouse filled the air. From a height of 205 feet, Heceta Head Lighthouse casts its beam of light out 21 some miles to sea, the brightest light on the Oregon coast.
Oh, wow, that has been so beautiful up here at Heceta Lighthouse.
Heceta Head Lighthouse on the Oregon coast.
And it's very special just thinking about these historical buildings. And in regard to technology being out there now that could make these obsolete, and yet there's such a special part of our history and a special piece of architecture that is no longer being built that way. But there's a lot that goes into taking care of them.
I think lighthouses are such a big part of our legacy of living here on the West Coast, and finding the funds and the time and the effort to be able to keep them going seems so special, and it's such a gift to be able to be here on these lighthouse grounds today and be able to see the lighthouse. And I think it's a gift for the future generations as well, to be able to experience lighthouses, which have such a historical wonder. And I think too, it's amazing to think about the lives of the lighthouse keepers back in the early days of who was here. I mean, imagine what would it be like to be a lighthouse keeper in a remote place like this?
Exactly. They talked about how they would bring around these little portable library boxes because it was so remote that the lighthouse keepers would be dealing with this remote life, and you don't want to go crazy, so to speak. So they would have books to read, and they would be brought in supplies.
Yeah.
Families would grow up here. There would be children that grew up at the lighthouse,
we saw photos
homeschooled and everything else.
of the wooden schoolhouse building. This lighthouse, it was started, construction started on it in 1882, and then it was finished, and the first light was turned on in 1894. So that's 125 years that this lighthouse has been standing here.
And then also they talked about the light on top. It is the special lens and light that is being used up there, the historical big glass lighthouse bulb part of it.
It's the brightest light on the Oregon coast, and it's one of the biggest bulbs of its kind. Yeah, made in England, special light bulb. Well, it's incredible. This is only about 30 minutes or so of a drive in a car from Florence, Oregon. Yet it was talking about it would take a full day on a wagon to get down to Florence.
Wagon.
And this is a rugged coast, so I can only imagine what that was like over 100 years ago.
I think too, is a wonderment, or there's a romance of history where you say, oh, out on the coastline, and it's kind of has a romance to it, just like a lot of the old things. Even though when you really look at it, it was a difficult lifestyle and
a lot of work.
Work. They hand cranked there was a hand crank
the system to keep the gears of the light bulb turning, and it had to keep turning at a special keep going, because for sailors who would see the light, they're counting and trying to figure out where they're at based on how long it takes to see that next light flash come around.
So it had a weight that went down, and it turned these gears, which in turn turn these wheels, which are brass, and they go around in a circle. And this platform is attached to it, so that turns.
The responsibilities of the lighthouse keepers were enormous, and hard work was a part of everyday life. If the lighthouse keeper did not keep the gears of the lighthouse moving, then ships were endangered.
Every lighthouse has a unique light signal signature, which lets sailors know where they are along the coast. Back in the day, Heceta Head Lighthouse was a 10-second white flash every minute. Today, it is a white flash every 10 seconds. This gives it a signature different than others along the Oregon coast. In the first several decades of the lighthouse's career, a year's supply of kerosene was brought in by boat, stored in 2 oil houses on the lighthouse grounds, and then hauled up and into the lighthouse. In the 1930s, kerosene was replaced by electricity.
Although the light signal itself is the responsibility of the Coast Guard, maintaining the historical significance of the buildings and grounds is taken care of by Oregon State Parks.
Once leading edge, the importance of the light signal has been significantly downgraded. Due to the upgraded navigational technological capabilities on the boats themselves, the light of the lighthouse is less important now. As we experience the historical and natural wonders of the park, witness the architectural beauty of the buildings, and reflect on our feelings that are stirred deep inside us, we feel touched by this enchanting lighthouse. The salty air and harsh, stormy winds of the Pacific Ocean are brutal, yet through the determination of keepers and stewards, this lighthouse stands today, tall, beautiful, and well-maintained.
May there always be an importance in our world for inspiring places of historical significance, hope, and awe. We feel wonder when we are in the presence of a wondrous lighthouse such as this. Perhaps it's like looking into a lit window of our past, as we imagine the days and lives of those of days gone by. Our hearts fill with gratitude for today's easier times and wonder for all the human stories entwined with one inspiring beacon of hope. I have a gratitude, a wonderment, a real appreciation for the fact that there was enough forethought of really trying to hold this historical building and its surroundings together. I mean, it's a wonder in humanity that there are people that care enough to take care of it.
I'm so grateful.
And we thank all the people who are out there supporting the national parks, the state parks, because it's those funds that are helping keep a building like this around.
Yeah.
Keeping a part of our history and keeping a romance of the coastline.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly.
In an age when navigation beacons can be made smaller, cheaper, and easier to maintain, why save the old lighthouses? Imagine this headland without the picturesque building and its story. Historic light stations are legacies of our past and gifts to the future. Beautiful place by the sea.
I feel so grateful.
Mm-hmm. We're so glad that you joined us on this special outing to a lighthouse.
Yeah.
And we hope you will join us again as we adventure through our life
And
through
keep finding
our-
the bright bits and
through our ordinary days and through our exciting, adventurous days. There's always a wonder to find, something to appreciate. And even when some of those outings turn into more work than you thought they would,
like it would be if you were a lighthouse keeper and you were going about your day.
there you go. So yeah, we encourage you to find wonder each and every day.
Enchanted Lighthouse, perched on a cliff overlooking the Great Pacific Ocean, is a wonderment of historical significance with working relevance today. May we all have the open mind to seek inspiration from a cherished lighthouse. The fog banks of our real lives can roll in at any time, and the darkness of night comes every day. We all look for the people, places, and things that light up our lives with joy and wonder. Remembering that we are each our own lighthouse keeper empowers our inner light to shine its truth. We can light up our own lives with purpose and joy, and show up in the world as a light for others. May we all let our inner lights shine bright with love, kindness, wonder, and appreciation for self and for all. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to our channel, subscribe and join our Sea Tree Wonder community. We're sharing weekly episodes each week.
Join us. It'll be lots of fun.
Yes, we'll keep lighting up your life.